Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how I achieved this makeup look using a full face of my most expensive luxury makeup. And while doing so, I'm going to tell you whether or not I think these products are worth the money. I felt this was the perfect time to upload a video like this because the day I upload this is the day the Sephora savings event begins for Rouge tier members. Actually, it begins for not just Rouge, but also VIB tier members. So if you are a Rouge member, you can get 20% off your purchase. And if you are a VIB, you can get 15% off your purchase. Insiders receive 10% off their purchase, and the sale for insiders begins on April 14th. I thought this video might be helpful to those of you who are contemplating a more expensive purchase. Not every product I'll be using today is available at Sephora, but the vast majority of them are. I'm beginning with my skin prep. I was sent products from the brand One Skin. I have never used these before, but this brand does have some excellent reviews. The products I'll be testing today are the Face Topical Supplement, which retails for $100, and also the Face SPF. And this retails for $56. I do think it's great that this product is refillable. It says here that it is a daily essential topical supplement clinically validated to strengthen the skin barrier and improve key skin health markers for lasting visible results. It does feel very lightweight. It sinks into the skin very quickly. So we're off to a good start. Next up is the sunscreen. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but this is the first time trying these two products. Everything else in this video I have tried many, many times, which is why I will be able to tell you whether or not I think they're worth the money. Right off the bat, I am not loving this white cast, but it is a zinc oxide sunscreen, so I suppose that shouldn't be unexpected. And it does feel a little bit like sticky. I hope it doesn't make my foundation pill. I am going to give this some time to sink in and do my eye makeup first. I don't actually own a luxury eyeshadow primer, so I'm just going to use some of this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer on my lids. And I'm blending that out with a BK Beauty A506. Then I'm going to set that with a little bit of the powder I will be using again later in this video. It is from YSL. For my eyeshadow, I couldn't decide if I wanted to use this Tom Ford eyeshadow quad or if I wanted to pull out this Pat McGrath palette that I have not used in a while. This one is more expensive, so I think I'm gonna go this route. This is still quite expensive, $95 for an eyeshadow quad. That is a lot. I am 100% certain I purchased this during a sale. I am also 100% certain that I regret it. I just never reach for this. And the Pat McGrath Mothership palette I chose to use today is the Divine Rose. I do believe that everyone should own at least one Pat McGrath Mothership eyeshadow palette. The packaging is obviously very bulky, not great for travel, but it is very luxe. If you're going to be spending $128 for an eyeshadow palette, it should come in packaging like this. And the quality of the eyeshadows should be top tier, which they are. You also get a mirror. I'm beginning by taking this very light lavender matte shade and applying that to the outer corner of my eye and blending it inward. As you can see, it is quite pigmented. And I'm doing this very sort of haphazardly. Because my eyes are hooded, I do want to take the color up higher. So when my eyes are open, you can see the shadow. And it doesn't matter if the shadow gets messy over here because we're going to clean it up. That's one of the reasons why I do like to do my eyeshadow first. And when laying your eyeshadow down, you do always want to start on the outer corner and then blend in because that is where you are going to deposit the most color. And for my eye shape, again, I have hooded eyes and they do turn down on the outer corners a bit. I want to make sure that I blend up and out towards my temples to give my eyes a more lifted appearance. I want to take this beautiful, like gold shade. It has a bit of a rose undertone. I don't think you can really see it on camera, but that's one of the great things about these Mothership palettes is they have unique shadows, unique shades. I've never actually used this color before. And oh my goodness, it is gorgeous. Now I think you can see it, maybe. The gold with the rose underneath. So when I move my head, that's when you can sort of see the different tones. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, now, most of you who watch my tutorials on a regular basis, or even if you've only caught a few of them, I do always do my eyes in a very similar way because I just find it to be the most flattering for my eye shape. And that thing I always do is take a dark shade. Now I'm using the dark brown, and I apply it to the outer corner, the outer V of my eye. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this icy white here and pop that onto the center of my mobile lid. I'm actually going to take a little bit of this kind of taupey, plummy brown color, very hard to describe, and put that over part of the lid as well. Trying to use as many colors from the palette as possible. Okay, it looks kind of a mess right now, but don't worry, we're gonna make it work. I'm going to take a pointed Q-tip and some eye makeup remover and clean up the outer edges. This look definitely needs some eyeliner. So I'm using the Valentino Twin Liner Gel and Liquid Eyeliner. The Valentino 2-in-1 ended up being a little dried out, so I did instead use the Pat McGrath Liquid Eyeliner. And it came out okay, but I do want to go over it with a little powder shadow. And for that, I am using the brown from the Pat McGrath palette on a dampened brush. And yes, I am putting a brown over a black. And see, we have salvaged the eye look. Now, when this was fresh, I did really, really like it. And honestly, I don't think $40 is that bad for a liquid liner with a gel liner on the other side. For mascara, I'm using my YSL Lash Clash. I used to have the Chantecaille mascara. It had been sent to me in a PR package. It was an $80 mascara, and I can't in good conscience recommend that to anybody. Unless, of course, luxury makeup is your thing. That's what you enjoy spending your money on. I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, but I'm also not going to, I don't know, just actively promote an $80 mascara. Okay, now it's time to see how my foundation lays on top of the skin prep. The first thing I'm going to do is apply some of this Veil Mineral Primer. This is one of my favorite primers of all time. I've repurchased it several times. It works beautifully under so many different foundations that I use. This helps with shine. By the way, for anyone who's new to my channel, I do have oily skin, large pores, texture. So I do like a good smoothing primer. And for foundation, I am using the Prada Reveal foundation. This foundation is excellent and it is refillable. I'm going to pump some onto the back of my hand and apply it one side of my face and then blend it in, and then I do the other side. And today I am using this Sephora Collection brush number 40. Every time I use this foundation in a video, I mention that it is one of the best shade matches I've ever had. And I will have my shades listed next to the product and the link in the description box. Unfortunately, with YouTube shopping, we can't always link to the exact shade, This foundation is just so good. I do feel a little pale because I did use the self tanner a couple days ago. So this is not my exact match for when I have self tanned, but not to worry. I'm going to be doing some bronzing. And I've got to say, the foundation is laying down nicely over that moisturizer and sunscreen. Now I am looking far away without my glasses. I'm not looking in the magnified side of my mirror. So we're gonna have to flip this mirror around and see what's going on. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I am going to take my Stands Out sponge though and pick up any excess. There we go. This always makes a huge difference with how my makeup looks. For concealer, I'm using my CeraCreal Face Flex Concealer. I did mention this product in my Sephora Savings Event recommendations video. The reviews of this product are mixed, but I happen to think it's fantastic. And this particular shade, number 3, does a fantastic job of color correcting, brightening, and covering because it has a slight peachiness to it. Okay, now I'm going to use another product that I have not used in a very, very long time. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate, and I have it in Intensity 1. I can tell you right now, not worth it. There are just so many other contouring bronzing powders that are half the price that are just as good. But I said this is a video using the most expensive luxury makeup that I own, and that's what I'm going to do. This is not a bad product at all. It's actually pretty fantastic, but it's just not necessary to spend this much. Okay, why am I loving this more than I remember? Ooh, I have a new pimple right there that I just noticed. I didn't even notice it when I was putting on my foundation. I never break out here. Uh-oh. What did I use different? I'm going to use my Patrick Ta Nose Contour Brush and use this to contour my nose, obviously. And I also like to run that a little bit into the crease of my eye. And now I am going to set everything with that YSL powder I used at the very beginning. And I'm using a brush to set under my eyes and through the T-zone. This is a beautiful powder. It is not one that I would recommend to anyone with very dry skin, but if you need a smoothing, mattifying powder, this is an excellent, excellent option. I uploaded an entire face of YSL video, I think about a month or 2 ago. If you are interested in that, I can link it in the description box. Yeah, I'm basically setting my entire face with this because once again, I get oily. Yeah, now I think I'm more in tune with my neck and chest shade. Well, actually, I think the Gucci bronzer is going to bring it all together. I love this. I also had it in my Sephora sale recommendations video. I use shade number 3. It's just such a fantastic blurring bronzer. And unless my sense of smell is gone, it really doesn't have a fragrance to it like a lot of luxury brands do. Okay, I am going to move on to my brows, and then I am so excited to test out this new Tom Ford blush, but I'm gonna have to wait just a couple more minutes while I do my brows. This is the Hourglass Arch Brow in the shade Platinum Blonde. I used to use this brow pencil all the time because one of my favorite makeup artists, Faces by Rob, he always used this. I honestly haven't reached for it in quite a while, and now that I'm using it again, I'm remembering why I liked it so much. Like I do quite often, I'm carving out my brows using the Makeup Forever HD Skin Palette. And then I'm going back to the Pat McGrath palette and I'm taking some of the white shimmer over here. There's a white kind of duochrome shimmer over here, which is the one I used at first on my lid. But now I'm using this one in the upper left corner and putting that into my tear ducts. And also slightly under the arch of the brow. And then with a pencil brush, I am taking the smoky brown from the upper row center, and I'm running that along my lower lash line. I cannot believe I was not recording when I tried on this Tom Ford blush. This was the one product in this entire video that I wanted you guys to see my initial reaction to. I am just messing up so much lately when it comes to my videos. Yeah, last week I forgot to plug in my microphone. Then just a few minutes ago, I shut it off because I had to pause for a few minutes and I didn't want the camera to continue to run. And then I come back and I forget to start the recording again. So my initial reaction was, oh my goodness, this blush is amazing. Stephanie, AKA Babs Beauty, who hopefully I was recording when I mentioned that she is the one who influenced me to buy this. I don't know how far back I wasn't recording, but she said that this was super blurring, and it definitely is. Instead of bringing out texture like so many blushes do, this one actually seemed to smooth the texture I have in this area. And the pigmentation is excellent. I'm just gonna apply some more since you missed out on the initial application. More is more. You know I am a blushaholic. I'm gonna put a little bit here and here. This is definitely worth the money. And something else I said when I wasn't recording is that I was debating what highlighter to use, because now that that blush did such a great job of blurring, I don't necessarily want to use a very bold highlight like this one from YSL. I may use the cream highlight from Sarah Creole, and I'm going to go get that from the other room, but I'm not going to stop the recording to do that because obviously I can't be trusted to hit record again. So I'll be right back. So this is Sarah Creole's Today's Highlights in this Just In, and I'm going to take my finger and just add that to the very, very tops of my cheekbones, a little bit under the brow. Switch fingers, tap, 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 under the brow. Now for lips, I'm using a Tom Ford lip pencil. This is a really nice creamy pencil and the color is beautiful. It's number 103, Irresistible. For lipstick, I'm using Westman Atelier in the shade Petal. And you know I'm a gloss lover, so I'm topping it with this gloss from Sarah Creole, and this shade is called On Top because it is a beautiful shimmery topper for any lip combo. All right, here's the completed look. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with how the base makeup looks. I honestly wasn't sure how everything was going to lay on top of the OneSkin moisturizer and sunscreen, but I got no pilling. I did pop on some Swede individual lashes. Those lashes are so beautiful, but they are so delicate and so difficult to see for me without my glasses on. So personally, I really struggle with those, but I completely understand why so many makeup artists have those lashes in their kit because they do look so natural. Hopefully I made it obvious during the demo which products I felt were truly worth the money. I would say the standouts are the primer and foundation, the Gucci bronzer, the YSL powder, the new Tom Ford blush that I am so frustrated I forgot to record. And while I had used all of these lip products separately, I'd never done this combo before, and I think it's fabulous. So that's it. That is a full face of some of my most expensive makeup products. As I think I mentioned earlier, I will have every product listed and linked in the description box. If you are on your mobile phone, you will have to tap Show More in order to bring down that description box and access the product list and the links. I will also have everything I can tagged through YouTube Shopping as well. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider doing so. I upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. My username is the same. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.